Good morning. This is my entrepreneurial update. So, first of all, I got something to hold my phone from Marshalls. So from now on, let me show you. Bam! Look at this little clip. You can clip it anywhere. So from now on, I don't have to do selfies in my car, and I can film anywhere. All right, so entrepreneurial update. Last video I had spoke about shifting my mindset and new chapter. Just beginning to focus on my book and the associated brand. My relationship had just ended recently. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video, but even though we ended on good terms, still a little messy, but it's for the best. Anytime I focus on myself, and really take a lot of time and get focused, she would feel on the back burner. Amazing woman, but just different perspectives. And so we'd have too many ups and downs. So it's for the best. Ultimately, it is for the best. But new chapter, as hard as it is, new chapter, and I'm moving forward, focusing on my book, The Associated Brand. Good news is I have all the key people to make it happen. As I mentioned, I have my friend in Utah who creates inventions. I also have a client who could be a potential investor. I have a web guy who designed my main website, and I spoke with him recently, and he is interested in helping me with my book covers for trading for some personal training. So I'm going to train him. He's going to help me with my book covers and the logo for the brand. And then he's going to help me with the website. And I'll give him equity in the company. So one step at a time, but he did agree to that. So that's exciting. I have a web guy, which is part of, one of the biggest parts of it. Because the main part of the brand, aside from the books and the products, will be that website, that blog. That's that home base. So that check covered, and potential investor if I need it, web guy, guy for the products, all the parts. I just need to make it happen. And it's interesting, building off of what I said in the last video with one of my other clients who's very intuitive. She's an empath. She feels energy. I really value people like that because, they go against the norm and they're very true to themselves, but also they have a gift that they use for the greater good. So I met her, and I also met a friend who is similar. The only two people my whole life who I've met who are very empathetic and intuitive. And they both told me crazy things. So the original one, the friend, back in the day, she was the first one I ever met who actually told me some insight. And she said that I someone's going to cause a lot of problems for me, give me a lot of trouble, but in the end I'll come out on top. That did come true. She told me that I'm going to be much more successful than I knew and sooner than I think. But now with the business venture that I thought, that came true. Shifted from new exist to this, and I do see this blowing up. And when I mentioned this venture, she also said, that's the one. She felt that this is the one that blows up. She also told me that she didn't see my relationship ending immediately, and she was right. It's dragged out a little bit. Recently, I had some rough conversations with her, with my ex. But anyways, my intuitive friend was right about everything. She also said that back in the day, rewinding, she said that I was supposed to move to New York City, but she's like, I don't see you in New York. And she was right. We ended up moving to LA back in the day. So everything she said was right. So now shifting to my other friend, the more recent one, my client, she has told me amazing things. She told me that I'm just as empathetic. Well, I can't use empathetic because that's a different definition. Just as much of an empath, and but I have suppressed my abilities. And back in the day, I was a very sensitive child. I was sensitive to the whole world. It just felt overwhelming, energy-wise. I'd wake up. I never wanted to go to kindergarten, preschool. It was too much. And I started suppressing that, she said, around 16 or 17 because I didn't want to feel different. And everything she said was right. So she was sort of helping me to learn how to feel others' emotions and energy and kind of open that back up again. She kept telling me to just open it back up, but learn how to protect myself so bad energy doesn't hurt me. Because she says that my gifts, everyone has a different gift in regards to that. She said mine is feeling dying energy and living energy. And she said that I'm very connected to nature, which is also true because as a kid, I would sit outside for 5, 6, 7 hours just playing with rocks, playing with trees, just sitting there looking at nature, and it felt right. It felt like my source. And she said that's what grounds me. That and connecting to the universe through getting in the zone with working out. But she also said that I've lost that, which I have. I haven't trained like I used to. And so she was saying that I need to open myself up, but learn how to protect myself because my light is so bright, being such a positive person, that the darkness, that attracts the darkness. So I'll attract a lot of people that want to feed off that energy because she said it feels like, so warm, and they like that. So I learned a lot. She also spoke to me about my family. It's a crazy relationship because every time I meet her, she just gives me insight. It's like she's a guardian angel. It's insane. I'm so grateful though. So we were talking about my family, and I asked her, what about my little brother? And she said he's very intelligent, very science-based. One day he'll provide great insight with what you work on. She said you have a really good relationship though. I said, what about my older brother? She said he is too intelligent for his own good. She's like, he shouldn't be that smart. But she said, you're opposites. You're a solver and he's a fixer. So you work well together even though you're opposites. He can finish what you start. And she said, one day you're going to work together. It might not be in his 30s, but it'll be in your 30s. He might be in his 40s, but one day you're going to work together. And I could see that. And then she also said that we both don't know how to connect to each other, and we both make half-assed attempts. So I'll call him, he'll be like, hey, I'm at this bar. I'll be like, all right, I'll try to make it. So, we need to go a little bit, try a little harder, and try to get to know each other and how to understand each other. Because I'm too much of a dreamer and he's too much of a realist. So then I asked about my parents. She said that my father's light is very bright, which is true. He's such an uplifting person. He never holds grudges, he never judges. And my mother's actually an empath as well, but she suppresses that. My sister's very intuitive. But yeah, the insight she provided was amazing. So moving forward, I am just focusing on myself, creating the lifestyle that I want. Oh, last thing, I spoke in front of a group of people. So my intuitive client, she invited me to speak to her class to get comfortable speaking to groups. And it was a win-win because her group doesn't speak much English. So I spoke to her class, who barely speaks English, and on redefining success and believing in yourself. And then they had to ask me questions as part of their exam. So it was a lot of fun. There were like 13, 14 people there. It's kind of funny to say that my first speaking engagement was to people that didn't speak much English, but it was a lot of fun. Benefited them, benefited me. First step. So let's go. Let's do this.